I should probably actually get dressed then, because I'm going to be here for a little bit.
I mean, that's up to you. You're not on cam or anything.
Yeah, but, you know, it's just sticky chairs. We've got Marshmaster11 versus Sir GFM. Read some stats. Tell them about these people while I get all gussied up for a beautiful event.
Well, let's see. So GFM, definitely, actually both of these very known community members. GFM in their 7th mystery tournament, joined in MT12, has a win rate of 61%, so I guess everything above 50% is pretty good. And the best placement is 13th in MT15, that's a really good position. Funny enough, Marshmaster11 also having the best placement as 13th in MT14. Kinda similar win rate. Yeah, so both of these pretty much veterans of the mystery tournament. This is a back 6 match, so they had a few games already. GFM played versus Cello in Yobodron, which doesn't ring a bell to me. The next game I remember though, played against Teto in Shrek Castle at the Castle, a GBA licensed platform of questionable quality. But it was a very fun race. I think it almost went to time. Played against Shoehorse in Monkey Magic. I missed that race, but apparently there's a very memey jingle that the game keeps repeating. And then lost against Adam Numbers, Ferris V5 in Caroline? I remember that game, I'm not sure. Marshmaster11 on the other side. Actually has one more match. Is that a seed thing, a placement thing, I'm not sure. Played against Okami of Games in Rompers, the arcade ball pushing over game. Then against Pond Noob in Shadow of the Ninja. Against Lightning in Honeycomb Beat, which I believe is kind of a lights out puzzle thing. Against Quartz in Archer McLean's Mercury. We do see the Mercury and Mercury Meltdown games pretty often. Classic mystery games. Played against Thor of Kenya in Oh My Roommate is a Laser Gun, a puzzle platformer by Hempoli. And then against Arius in Deathlock. That one is pretty recent. I think that might have been this week.
Yeah, that was right. That was just yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, pretty recent still. Is an indie, I guess, puzzle platformer, but also requires some pretty good reflexes. It was a pretty good race as well. And the game coming up, I'm gonna spoil that it's a puzzle game. It's not really gonna require any reflexes. We'll see who's the better puzzle player of these two.
That's right, one of these players is going to be lifted into the next round. And what's interesting is that according to parallel dimension theory, technically we're about to fork the dimensions into two of them, where one of them has one person winning and the other one has the other person losing.
I see. Well, that had to happen a lot then in the tournament.
Oh yes, we've created a number of unreasonable parallel universes. Oh, you're cropping that one. I'm gonna crop the other one.
Oh. I'll leave the cropping to you then. The game coming up is actually my submission, but I just resubbed it pretty much.
It's, at this point, is one of those MT classics.
And not just MT, I think, I'm unsure. Was this used in Kusa Grande perhaps?
Why would it be used in Kusa Grande? Who would do such a thing?
Or maybe it's just a Procencio plated here, maybe that's what I'm mixing up.
Maybe don't make us bored.
No, I don't think so.
Alright, I've finished the cropping, got everything going here as far as I'm aware.
While our players are still setting up, I guess we've got some time to run a prediction. Haven't done one in a while, I think.
Somebody's got to win the keys to the funhouse eventually, right?
Yeah, and I'm sure that's gonna do just as much as the clearance levels. But yeah,
It's gonna cause the budget to spend money.
get your points in.
Alright, it is ready on the stream side. Oh, submitted by PS1. No, it's not.
Oh, yeah, mixed up.
Oh, it's gonna go. Okay.
Right.
Oh, I believe
Let's see the
when
game
you
then.
are. That's right, it's Forklift Matt and Ham. Forklift Ham.
Forklift Ham.
Sir. It's Tsumu.
Yeah. Tsumu, kind of a twist on Sokoban. You don't just push the boxes around, you're actually a cyberized hamster forklift thing. Not sure we'll see the intro cutscene, but it shows how the legs and paws of the hamster are taking off. Kinda, I mean, kind of a gruesome thought, I guess. And they attach some hover forklift implements instead, and with that you can lift boxes and move them around, and the goal is to arrange the boxes so that they kind of form a video wall showing an animation. So you have to you can't just arrange them in any order, you have to put them in the right order and in the right rotation, I guess, right directions. And in later levels there's gonna be a step limit as well, if I remember right. So in the tutorial it doesn't have a step limit, but then later they have a limited amount of steps left to achieve their goal.
And so the goal today is to beat the beat the tutorial and the first 8 normal stages. Are you forklift certified, Muer?
No.
Then you should probably stop playing this game.
I do have a copy of Tsumu though, and Tsumu Lite I think as well now.
Oh.
Right. And they're off.
So yeah, like we said, this is Sumo. This is a game that's all about stacking boxes to make a video wall to actually make a little picture at the end. So here we immediately start out with a flag, and our goal is going to be to put the box on top of the other box and then raise that. Well, yeah, this. So both players immediately. One thing they know is getting used to the movement in it is that you can't move sideways. You have to be able to stand there and turn. And we have GFM grabbing both boxes and moving the whole stack.
Yeah, GFM already learning advanced strats here. That this is gonna be important later, and I think the tutorial is gonna teach them to stack boxes and move them like that. But GFM caught on early. So the first, I think, 8 or 10 stages are tutorial, teaching you a bunch of concepts and not restricting the number of steps you have. So on the top you can see the stage number and also the step limit, I guess. Maybe the number of steps left, probably, which here is infinite.
And here we've got the 6 segments of the flag that we need to not just, move them around. We need to figure out where they go and how they actually go on top of things. So Marshmaster is already taking off, just forming the bottom layer, no problem. GFM is forming the top layer first, and in a bad order. I don't know what GFM's doing, honestly.
Yep, it's not looking right so far, but I think he's noticing probably.
Does GFM think we just need to get all the boxes on target, or does GFM realize that we need to correctly actually build the picture? March doesn't matter though for Marshmaster because we're through. Okay, GFM is now realizing, oh wait, you need to build the picture.
Also not turning the camera, so you can turn the camera around, otherwise it can be a problem if you don't see which part of the picture you're seeing. GFM resets. They are Marshmaster in this next tutorial stage learning that you have to grab the boxes from a specific side. You can see that the boxes have holes for your forklift fork, and you can only grab it from that side. And that side is not always the front.
That's inconvenient.
Yep, this is for sure a game full of inconveniences. Like you've got these tank controls, or I guess forklift controls. You can be blocked, so your forklift fork needs space, and if it bumps against something, then you can't turn, you can't move. So lots of restrictions they'll have to be aware of. Which is probably something that would come up in real forklift training as well.
It does! You have to be aware of your forklift things. Unlike you, I actually was. No, I was trained on a forklift and was working on my forklift certification, and then I fell completely ill and lost that job. So, anyway, moving on with life, we've got a clear from GFM.
Marshmaster here using a good move. You can also walk backwards, and that's important. Sometimes you, in order to be able to turn, if there's limited space, you might have to move backwards into a space.
And we can be sure that a lot of the later levels are designed around having to figure out how to inconveniently move your tank around various obstacles as well. In fact, here's this level where we need to do something similar. All we need to do is get those two boxes stacked on top of each other and then make our way through the maze.
Marshmaster already noticing the restrictions here, so you can't move your forklift fork into the air. It also needs a tile to move onto.
Weak.
And Marshmaster dealing with this very quickly.
GFM doing a much better job handling this stage now. They just had to realize that it's a little puzzle that you need to put together and stack them all correctly in order to get through it. Getting some valuable go backwards tech.
So this stage looks similar to the last one. I guess here you just learn to stack. No, maybe? It could also have been stacked, I'm not sure. Probably. But there's no step limit, so I guess you can also just take them separately.
I believe there's actually no way to stack those boxes in that little area, maybe. Like, I'm trying to look at it and how you would do that stack, and I'm not sure there is.
Yeah, maybe you'd have to walk out and turn around or something. Yeah, I guess maybe you have to take them separately. Marshmaster struggling to pick that box up again, maybe? Enough space to turn here. Oh, yeah, that was a lower flag. Has not figured out yet how to grab that one, I think, but I think it's pretty close probably, so you can just move backwards into that space. Turn around, and
GFM is catching up. Okay, it looks like GFM has decided to stack the boxes, which did require some complicated movements. You couldn't just do it outright in that spot. But you could do it with a little bit of movement, and there we go. GFM has gotten that clear. So now we're learning about, objects that are slightly too high to actually, like, move yourself around or just move the box around willy-nilly. You have to turn and keep your forklift up and kind of do a little bit of maze. As everybody who's run a forklift knows, that these warehouses are full of annoying obstacles that cause you to raise your forklift up and down. That's not true. If your warehouse is laid out in such a way that you need to keep moving your forklift up and down, you need to have a very strong talk with your foreman. Are these portals? They're portals!
Yeah, we've got teleporters, both of our players still fairly synced. GFM goes right, Marshmaster goes left, but it probably doesn't make much of a difference. Although I guess you probably want the lower part first. So you don't have to shuffle the flag parts around later.
Yeah, that's going to be a benefit for Marshmaster. Oh, I guess.
GFM with an interesting strategy, yeah. Is stacking both now.
GFM seems a lot more willing to stack. Murica! Yes! Take that, everyone else that isn't Murica. You too, Muware.
Yeah, no, my flag's not in this game, I believe. Chat said this game is secretly our flags. I think it's just a tutorial, we're gonna get other gifts later. And in the... I'm not sure about this game, but in the sequel there's some fun animations, like there's a...
There's like a tank being built or something?
I remember the hamster laser turret, so kinda like our forklift hamster, but with a big sci-fi laser turret on it. But yeah, we're gonna see some other animations.
This level is teaching you that when you go through teleporters, you need to make sure that you're facing the correct orientation. So here we have the flag is kind of sort of obstructed by, or what was I trying to say there? We need to have a box actually allow us to move things around and lift things up with our forklift to push it back, and it's just that easy. It's just telling us, hey, by the way, there are multiple layers to this thing, and if you put the box on the X, it'll fall through.
Yeah, that's what the stage teaches us. You can drop stuff from higher layers. And maybe this will come up in this stage again, because we do see a higher layer there.
Yeah, I believe this is your classic tutorial. By the way, did you remember all the things that we taught you? Because you're about to learn them. Because the thing is, we can't actually just drop those boxes down a layer lower. You can't just do that with a forklift. You can't just disengage. So here we go, up and around. There we go. We're teleporting through. All this work just to drop that box.
It's weird that the score is over half tutorial and level count. Well, the stages get a lot more difficult, so it's gonna take them a lot longer to do the non-tutorial stages.
Now, interestingly, if I were Marsh in that instance, I would have checked if I could drop them down. It wouldn't really impact the gameplay at all, but I would have checked if I could drop the boxes down that hole.
GFM, not noticing there that you could lift your fork up to dodge that box in the way while turning. Marshmaster has figured that out.
And we are done with flags. It's time to move on through the tutorial to the real game. We've got actual stages here now with actual move count. This is a tutorial still.
Yep, looks like Marshmaster went back to the tutorial here. I hope they notice. Yep. Normal. We're picking the cow section. Very good. It's coincidentally the first one. I didn't choose that.
Yeah, sure, yeah, sure, yeah,
Yep, definitely
sure.
not a hack of the game that inserts cow pictures.
Fish!
I really like the kinda, I don't know, elevator music, anyway, very lounge music, I guess. Very relaxing. Smooth jazz even, I believe. Gonna be some sax later.
I love that you, your accent definitely made that word a completely different word than you wanted to, and it
definitely with an A. But yeah, I was thinking about that.
All right, we got. Here we correctly identify that we need to be able to move this box in different ways and actually get it through. So what we actually have to do is we have to put this box in first before we can put the other box in because the forklifts are from the side. So let's see if Marshmaster realizes it. And we are also, again, we have limited moves.
Yeah, so for this stage they just have 30 moves, and the game's gonna start an annoying beep when they reach 10 moves. 10 moves left. Which will ratchet up the panic probably as they try to still solve the puzzle somehow.
There we go, fish is down on the back end. Now can we get the other fish? GFM realizing making mistakes as well there. Now the move limit is not as tight as you might think.
Yep, doesn't have to be perfect. And we got a nice animated fish.
It's a pretty fish.
Like this
And
time we have to swap the boxes and we get very little space to do it.
Luckily, it's not that hard if you just use some turning powers there. Marshmaster is quickly identifying how that works. And through.
Very quick solution for that stage. GFM also reaching this stage now. Marshmaster keeps picking the same stage again. I guess it doesn't really cost them a lot of time. Oh, this is a complicated one. So they can't turn in the middle in this intersection here. You can just walk straight through that. 200 moves, yeah, that's right. This is gonna be a long stage. That's just a lot of ground to cover, I think. It's just a long walk on these thin walkways here. Looks like we've got some kind of whale, probably. Might make sense to stack the boxes if you can get them apart at the goal, which looks like that should be possible. We'll see if 200 moves is enough to take these 3 boxes separately.
Forgive me, folks, I think I just gotta check my microphone settings here real quick.
The Marshmaster picking the second box is not stacking them. I think stacking them would work here. It's down to... might just be enough steps, but I'm not sure. We'll see if Marshmaster has enough steps left. It kinda looks like it's getting very close. Yep, no, that's not enough steps. You definitely need to stack some boxes here. Empty. And GFM also has taken his crates separately so far, so it's also gonna run up against the step limit very soon. Marshmaster correctly identifying that you can stack these boxes and take them together. That should save them enough steps, and the rest of the execution of this puzzle should be easy enough. They already got that down. Just takes a bit of disassembly on the other side to put the stacked boxes in the correct order again. These crates are in the slightly wrong order for Marshmaster here, but easy enough to shuffle around. GFM also has 2 in place now. Looks like GFM might be a tiny bit ahead here, because Marshmaster took longer to shuffle the boxes in place at the goal. And the 3rd crate for GFM, and that's a clear.
Yeah, it's a whale!
Yeah, I love the saxophone section in this song.
So yeah, we do have a lead change here. GFM getting the clear before Marshmaster. This is a race again. They didn't give him a forklift license because it turns out you don't need a forklift you need a forklift license to drive the forklift license, or to drive a forklift, but if you just have your arms and legs replaced with forklift, then you're just operating yourself manually, so it's kind of a weird loophole around the law.
Yeah, if you are a forklift, who's to tell you that you're not allowed to lift with your fork?
It's this classic forklift man loophole. Or forklift ham in this case.
So there are actually some cutscenes at the start and the end of the game that show how the hamster is made into a forklift, and I think at the end they're de-forklifting him again and he's allowed to go home. I forget the name of the hamster, but I remember he does have a name. Yeah, difficult stage here. The goal is only reachable from the sides on the single line, so I guess you have to approach it from each side separately with one box. There's also not a lot of turning space here.
Yeah, this is the kind of stage that I would actually kind of panic about, because there's just so many moves and such long lines that if you screw up those lines, you're going to lose a significant amount of moves, and it'll just kind of add up, and it's just so impossible to like identify where you were. GFM's doing a good job of stopping and thinking. That is a rare thing we see in puzzle games, to just stop for a moment and identify what we need to do, and it looks like GFM and Mu are both taking that approach, but oh, what's this? How do we resolve?
Yeah, there's no space to turn right at the goal here, so they have to move in place quite a bit ahead. I guess there's probably a way to look at the whole map somehow. Let's have a look at the spin. Select is show whole stage, so they can look at the whole stage and try to puzzle out their paths ahead of time. Marshmaster has one box in place, and the other one just slots in the way he's holding it right now, so it just has to approach the right way.
There we go, and Marsh gets the clear. Moving on to 1-5. Again,
Nice.
This is only 8 stages of the real game.
That's actually quite a lead, I think, since this stage is pretty long. GFM still has like 120 steps left, if they're getting the solution.
So this one's a little bit complicated. We need to drop 2 steel boxes down on 2 different spots of the X's in order to create ourselves a bridge in order to make our way down there. And with the limited moves that you get now as a result of the game, it's going to be really, really important to play the stacking game, because you can't afford to just bring both boxes over one at a time anymore. Interesting, is opting to drop both boxes down there. So it almost looks done, but we still have one problem. The fish on the left needs to be put in from the side.
Yeah, there's not a lot of space here to untangle this, the box. It's kind of weird to grab from the side, but Marshmaster seems to manage, yeah. Has to get out of here. 20 steps, that should be enough.
Back around, up and down, and through!
Meanwhile, GFM still on 1-4, still struggling with this pretty difficult stage. One thing we, I think, haven't mentioned yet, so you can see that the goals have these T's. You actually have to turn the boxes the correct way on the T's. So you basically have to look at the picture the same way you'd look at the letter T.
Yeah, you can't have the puzzle reversed, which is really hard to see.
I didn't see the overview of Marshmaster's stage, so I'm not sure what the issue here is, but Marshmaster kinda stuck here now. Can't get rid of the box like this. You have to take a step back to drop the box off.
Yeah, being able to maneuver doesn't just mean that when you have an empty box, you have to be careful of the whole stack. Now, this one seems like it might involve some prep work as you stack two boxes in order to save time, and that looks like Marshmaster's main goal here is to make the movements only twice. We cannot stack 3 high in this. Yeah, actually we can. We can stack 3 high in this game, I'm sorry. I believe you can by stacking 2 high, picking that up and putting it on top of a...
On the ground, yeah. You can stack 3 high on the ground. You can't lift 3 high. I mean, you can't lift 3 boxes, I believe. That's too much even for our cyborg hamster forklift.
Aww. Hey, poor little guy is trying his best.
Definitely, and he's doing a great job. So Marshmaster stage here actually seems really small, but it's also incredibly cramped, so it's gonna take a lot of maneuvering. Looks like Marshmaster is trying to stack 3 boxes, but I think that's not possible to lift.
Yep. Poor hamster has strength limitations. You gotta be nicer to him. Don't overwork your hamster forklifts.
Marshmaster getting 2 boxes out. What's the situation in the rest of the stage here? There's a very tight turn here coming up, but if he just maneuvers there backwards, that's easy enough here like that. Oh, this one T is in a really difficult position there. I guess that means that one crate is... yeah, that the left part of the whale is grabbed from the right side, otherwise that wouldn't really work out at all.
Wait, one of the T's is backwards? Or reoriented?
No,
I didn't quite see that.
So that one T there is in the corner, so you have to approach it from the side.
Yeah. Alright, so Marshmaster gets that one in, needs to go grab the other 2 boxes, is running out of moves here. And by that I mean, still has a lot of moves. Technically always running out of moves, but...
Marshmaster did do a lot of moves, which seemed like just trying to figure out where and how you can move. Which makes sense to figure out the puzzle, but of course it's gonna eat away the moves you need for the solution, so a restart might make sense if you figure out the whole thing.
I don't know, it might be possible to pull this off without...
Yeah, 30 is still plenty, just has to get that one box down and in the middle.
Yeah, we're good. Marshmaster is through to the second to last stage in the goal.
We're getting a new picture. It's a racehorse. Very popular in Japan, I think. There's a ton of horse racing video games, at least. And again, pretty small stage, but the boxes need lots of rotating, and I guess you also kind of have to pay attention to the order in which you're stacking them, since the forklift holes are in different directions, different sides. So far so good for Marshmaster, I think. Like half a horse done.
And one of the tricks to this is that you can go behind the picture, which is really big. This would probably be, if it weren't for the fact that this is still World 1, I think this would be a huge move check. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get a similar level later on that has way more restrictions to it. And you can't do that because you can't pick the third box up.
Yeah, still has a lot of moves left, so I think Marshmaster's still safe here. That's the upper middle of the horse done.
Marshmaster proving the classic, you can bring a horse to water, but sometimes he comes in 6 parts and needs to be reassembled first.
Classic IKEA horse.
What do you think that IKEA horse's name is?
Bjorn. So the goal is the first 8 stages, so this would be the last stage for Marshmaster. Very small stage here, very cramped.
Oof, a lot of stuff that needs to be picked up from the side. Well, obviously from the side, because you can't pick it up from any other direction. Is Marshmaster just going to save one move there?
Luckily these boxes are already in the right arrangement. But which part is this? Is this the right part? The middle part? Yeah, right, probably.
This feels like it's either going to be a ridiculously, surprisingly easy stage, or that we're going to have a lot of problems in just a moment. I think that I'm going to bet that you need to disable or to dismantle one of those stacks in order to actually have the maneuverability required for the last set.
Marshmaster making kind of a compact butterfly here. That one needs to go one left.
Yeah, you don't remember the 3 parts of an insect? The antenna and back?
Yeah, the 3 parts. That's also how I would count that. Looks like the remaining 2 boxes are also in the right order. Was something wrong? Marshmaster's taking these apart. Couldn't you just walk in straight with... Oh, I guess you can't walk forward with those. You'd have to come in backwards, I guess.
Don't know, but we got that annoying beep 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 warning us.
GFM finished their stage, going on to 1-6, if I saw right.
Oh, yeah. So this is why I was talking about that I felt like we needed to restack one of the sets. It's because you do need to turn around, but if the boxes are too high, they cannot be. You can't move over them, or you can't turn around. So you have to drop one of the stacks lower in order to turn, bring in the middle, and then come back and fix that last stack.
Marshmaster taking off the top there, that should give them space to turn.
Yeah, so that was the gimmick of this stage. You just need to kind of figure out, hey, by the way, you can't do it all if you look at it at a glance. Or as it looks like at a glance, but oh, we still got a little bit of problems. How do we approach this.
So if they move backwards to the left side, then if they step forwards, they might get stuck in that one hole where the last box is going to be. I'm not sure. Yeah, very difficult stage. Taking off another box, but are they gonna? Yeah. No, that still doesn't work.
This stage is absolutely in the classic realm of deceptively simple. It lied to you. That's how deceptive it is.
GFM solving 1-6, still one stage behind. I think Marshmaster would have the right arrangement now, but doesn't have enough steps to solve it. Move back, then rotate it in. Oh, that's the middle part. No, that's the. No, that's fine actually. Oh, does do it with 3 steps left, and that's the dot down from Marshmaster.
Very close. Marshmaster finishing with a time of 32:35.
And GFM just has 2 stages left. Building their horse. I think I remember the name of the hamster. I think it's Gigi.
Gigi.
Yeah, I think I got that from the manual at some point. But since
you think that's like because he's Giga Hamster, but cuter?
Maybe a Giga hamster because they turned him into a horrifying cyborg. But yeah, since I believe we didn't really see the introduction cutscene, highly suggest checking that out. It's kinda strange. GFM has most of the parts, but it's kind of weird that the middle is left. I'm not sure if that only works if all the boxes have their slots on the front or back, which that one doesn't have, so that doesn't work.
I don't know how GFM ended up in that situation. I was slightly looking at the Discord to see if our next Give game is happening anytime soon. We do have another game coming up here very shortly, folks, as well. So keep an eye out on the channel. This race may be over, or it hasn't finished quite yet, but our day sure isn't. Okay, now it looks like GFM is approaching it with the idea of building individual sections of the horse together and then kind of dropping them off in their spots.
Which, again, depends on the slots being on the front or back, at least for the lower box they're grabbing. Okay, for that part it would be right.
The only problem with this music is that it doesn't loop properly.
Yeah, here's the end of the song. I wonder if there's any more songs of this. It's just the only song you get to hear through who knows how many puzzles. Puzzle games usually have a ton of stages. GFM building the middle first now. I think we saw Marshmaster kind of building it from one side to the other.
Can't get out of that mess once you're in it, GFM. Gotta move that middle box out. remember, folks, as a pet owner, it is your job to make sure that you're feeding your pet the right amount of food. In this instance, please make sure that you feed your pet enough that it can take more than 50 steps between feedings. But also, make sure you're not overfeeding your pets, because your pet's weight depends on your control, not your pet's control. They won't be able to stop themselves. They'll just eat. They got nothing else to do sometimes when you're off at work. Empty!
Comic Sans is the font with the right impact here.
No, I think it's impact that has the impact.
Yeah, it depends on what mood you wanna communicate.
It's Comic Sans because it's Sans comedy, because it's empty and you're sad. Oh, you get the little laser gun.
Yeah, that's a different model of cyborg hamster.
You know, maybe I need to do this at the next warehouse I work on. Just like draw pictures on the pallets so that way the forklift operator knows which order to put stuff in. Moo, have you ever worked in a warehouse?
No, not that I remember.
I believe I've told this story before, but here's a random roar job! One time I worked at a warehouse that was preparing shipments for air cargo, and the goal was that when we ship them through USPS, that we need to have our packages come closest to, but not over, 75 pounds in order to save the most money. So the closer we got to 75 with our single packages, and what we do is we take boxes, we stack them up on top of each other, hit that slightly below 75 pounds weight limit, and then strap them so that they're one package. But interestingly enough, there are some things that you can't send via flight, which is, of course, anything petrol or explosive, for instance. But what's interesting is that the gas canisters that you go to the store and you fill them up and, bring them back to your car, those have flammable written on them. So because they say flammable, they can't be transported by air post, even though the gas canisters themselves aren't flammable. So we flip them upside down so that the warning is on the bottom, so that the post office can have plausible deniability when they just open up the box and it says nothing of the sort. They know what's there, but if it says flammable, they can't do anything.
They flip it upside down, you said, so the label is still there, they just don't happen to see it?
Correct.
That seems
because
like
the object itself is not flammable. So if they see the word flammable, they have to stop that from flying. End of story.
Well, the music actually changes here for this anxiety part.
Marsh, you're close, back. What's the concern? Up. I don't understand what the concern is. What did we mess up?
I didn't
How
catch
did we
it, I
mess
don't
up?
know. What kind of animal is this? Yes, this is a hamster that was turned into a forklift.
GFM gained
GFM.
dangerously close to the space move count, but actually finished that one step ahead of Marshmaster.
Just one stage left for GFM.
Oh, the picture was on the side for the last... Okay. That's correct, B. Jonas. It is a hamster that was turned into a forklift. We identified this earlier in the stage, or earlier in the race, that the reason that would be done is to prevent a hamster from having to get a forklift license.
So if I saw it right, this is GFM's first attempt at this stage. They're probably not gonna think of the problem here.
It's starting to identify that there is a problem here.
He's running up against the other problem in that there's not enough space to turn around for him right now. And even go back for the last set of boxes. So the ending cutscenes of this game is also on YouTube, and I think the hamster, as a normal hamster, returns to his owner girl, who we see in the menu.
This is an interesting take on the idea here, but I don't think this works at all.
See what GFM does with this. So you can stack the one side there. He could have just turned around and put it down.
We here at Mystery Funhouse would like to notify everybody that we do not, or that you can in fact not just reattach your hamster's limbs, and we do not support that.
It can be okay in a video game, maybe, still a bit weird, but in reality it's always cruel and definitely something you should never do.
Hamsters already die easily enough on their own, they don't need your help.
GFM seems to see that that you need more space to turn around there. Did run up against the move limit.
GFM is definitely second guessing a lot of steps in this puzzle.
Yep, is unsure the placement of this first stack even, maybe? Okay, first stack down.
Alright, here we go. We have the boxes being set down. GFM has identified the problem and the solution. Well, at least the first problem and the first solution. Because now we have a slightly different problem.
Yeah, he still can't quite move into place, I guess. You'd have to put one box out of here.
Can't do that because you can't reach the third layer.
Still has over 20 moves, that should be enough to do it.
You're close, GFM. Sometimes, though, in order to get the cookies out of the jar, you need to put one down and grab them one at a time.
I don't think he can... Oh, okay. Can't lift 3 boxes, and also you couldn't get the other ones back off. Oh, this is a tiny stage for Marshmaster.
Oh god, that stage! Oh, it's so small!
GFM down to 4 steps. Okay, it's restarting now.
Came close, identified part of the solution, and is now unidentifying the correct solution. Has decided to try something else. Unfortunately, it's wildly wrong. Because GFM's maybe trying to build this all from the front, but is from the bottom to the top. But is going to real quickly realize that those coming in from the side really... Oh no. No, they all coming from the front.
Could still work as long as he's doing the rest the same way as before.
Yeah, there's still no world in which you can get in without having dismantled the second floor of the middle, is the problem. Come on, you can do this. You got the right idea, sorta. This'll work. If not a few extra steps, it'll work. Right? No, it won't. Wait. What? No, it won't. It won't work because you can't go back over that way. Oh, yes, it will work. It'll work!
Can
Wait, no, it won't.
he come in with the box in front?
Nope. I just realized it won't work. Because again, we need that box on the other side of that bridge. I got excited for nothing.
Well, GFM is pretty close to the solution. Yeah, I believe we're gonna see a finish soon.
Unfortunately, it's going to try the same approach again the wrong way. Yeah, so with regards to the goal, sometimes it feels a little bit weird to end the goal on some of the stages that we do. Whereas it seems like it's logical that we could have ended this on 1-10 or not. But then you have situations like this where GFM is getting hard stuck on one of these puzzles, and especially in puzzle games, it's really possible to get hard stuck on an area. And that'll really impact how well each racer can perform. And because we try to aim for these goals to be within the 30 to, well, really more the 20 to 45 minute range, we run into a lot of those questions of having to cut it off at a less quote-unquote logical timing.
So I'm curious what my own testing time for this was. Probably not long. Let's see. Oh, I didn't note it down. Well, never mind then. GFM with 3 steps left, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, unfortunately, GFM is still not quite getting the idea. And Marshmaster has cleared stage 1-10. Run, you beautiful horse, run. It's interesting to note that that horse only has 2 parts that need to be swapped on that stage.
Looks like we might be getting new elements here, maybe?
New music.
Wiggly lines. Oh yeah, that too.
I think those are just the bridge tiles just being different colored.
Yeah, probably. Trying to identify what the GIF is. Is it like a manta ray maybe? Some kind of flat wiggly thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jonah's saying the warehouse is small, but yeah, it's a hamster with a forklift. This warehouse is very small.
That's the lore reason why they had to modify these hamsters. It's a tiny warehouse, no people could work in here.
What do you think is in the boxes that the hamster is moving around?
Probably the thing you are seeing on the animation on the outside.
That'd be a really tiny whale! Unless it's parts of a whale, in which case it's still a tiny whale, but also dangerous and scary. We've ripped the whale apart. It's like some sort of magician saw the box in half trick.
Yeah, this is some kind of cruel future where they forkliftify hamsters and rip apart tiny whales. GFM running against the step limit again. Not sure if that solution would have worked. There's so little space in that room with the goal level. Only some of the boxes can actually be meaningfully used for shuffling around. Okay, what's this object? I'm not sure I understand what this is. Ah, that's an interesting stage design for Marshmaster here. The boxes are the bridge, so you have to swap them out with the metal crates. Also, I'm not sure in which order these... Oh, okay, you can see the green streamer clip over on the other box. Otherwise it wouldn't really be clear which box goes where.
The top cloud also identifies it too.
GFM stacking 3 high now, that's usually not a good idea probably. What happened to these butterfly pictures? I'm not sure which one goes where.
GFM's at least trying new things each time. Unfortunately, as GFM tries new things, gets further and further away from the solution.
Eight steps left, and the picture is all jumbled up.
What? No, that's just how butterflies look.
Ah, okay.
Okay, has put all 6 boxes in the spot, has now seen that the level is solvable. Just needs to correctly put them that way in the correct order.
You can do it, GFM. In the meantime, Marshmaster seems to have solved this stage. Yeah, build the bridge, just needs to take these 2 crates apart, and that seems easy enough. GFM is taking a box off to account for the rotation. Oh, and did split the other boxes already there.
But you can't put it on that side, you have to keep it on this side, GFM. Okay, has kept it on that side. Oh.
Can you get in place to
No,
pick up that
right,
box?
yeah. You have to do the sides first. I mean, this is normally a good thing. GFM is trying new things.
Did use a lot of steps there, it's already at the step limit pretty much. I think GFM basically just dropped off one of the stacks and went in and out and it up again. GFM seems to start okay there, but immediately reset again. And again. I don't see the issue they might be seeing.
It's really hard to identify what GFM is seeing as an issue that we aren't seeing him identifying as an issue. Again, he's putting the middle in thinking that that's the way you gotta do it, but unfortunately, you can't. You have to put the side in and take it down first. Wait. Oh,
that's actually a solution, and GFM does it.
GFM did it!
Finishing with a time of 59:22. Very nice. Very hard puzzle. It's generally a difficult puzzle game. It's easy to get stumped.
Well, we got another race in the wings here. Let's see if anybody wants to jump in for a quick interview after that game. GFM will be joining us, just has to get the mic. This is a jamming tune on. It was a jamming tune on the other thing, though.
And we're being joined by the winner, Marshmaster11. Hello, congrats.
Thank you. It was a fun hamster game.
Yeah, so you did very well. You were able to move on to even the next set of stages, and I believe we're moving through pretty far into that set. How did you feel about the way that the movement in this game worked?
It was absolutely horrid. I'm not a big fan of tank controls, mostly because I'm not really used to them, and it took quite a bit to get my brain used to, alright, left doesn't go left, it turns left, sort of thing.
Did you ever get used? Because I was constantly going the wrong way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure I didn't completely get used to it.
Yeah, and having a step limit certainly probably didn't add to the relaxation factor of this game.
It didn't. but fortunately it seemed like the step limit was fairly lenient. I don't think I had too much trouble, except when I got confused on a couple of levels.
Having a step limit also forces you to think, okay, I can't go that way, so how do I go around the step limit? Like putting box onto box to use less moves.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, you were doing a very good job of identifying pretty early on using that stacking mechanic, both of you actually, to save moves. Unfortunately, in the end, this came down to early on, there was actually a little bit of a lead change and a fight going on, but GFM got stuck on 2 of the stages, and that really cost in the end. GFM, I feel like you were doing a really good job of trying to identify that what you were doing wasn't working and trying different things. Unfortunately, you had gotten very close to the solution early on, and that trying different things bit you a bit. Can you explain what you thought was hindering you in some of those moves before, or that you kind of undid?
I bet the worst part was stage 5, that long maze with the 2 set of teleporters, right? That I literally did one side, then the other side, and then I went again. I couldn't really wrap my head around of, okay, if I go head first into that teleport, I will go out of that other teleport facing that direction, and that will lead me to solve the puzzle. In the end, I just brute forced it in both sides, which was silly because both solutions were the same. I was like, okay, I know that if I go out of the teleporter facing the direction, I can solve this. So I just tried every possibility until, okay, this will work better than bashing my head against the same thing. I just tried to, okay, let me figure something out.
Yeah, and I know that for me, generally it helps to try and work through it backwards, which it sounds like was sort of the strategy that you were using there.
Yeah, unfortunate. That last level was really brutal. Having to take off one of the boxes, because it seems like it's really easy, especially after the level prior to it, where you just move a couple boxes and call it a day. The next one, you have just an absolutely rough time where you have to take one of those boxes down and put it down, and then bring the next set in, and then take one of those boxes off and put it down in order to actually maneuver around. GFM, you kept getting a lot of the stuff on the opposite side of the bridge, but were unfortunately getting stuck without realizing that you needed everything across the bridge in order to start maneuvering it.
Yeah, that was rough.
And I apologize, earlier in this question, I had a question for you instead of a comment on it, and I lost the question, so I apologize. Well, congratulations, Marshmaster. You are on back 6. You are moving on to the back 7 round, which is staggeringly close to top 8.
Yeah, I honestly wasn't expecting to get this far, especially having gotten into losers on my very first match. But it's
heck yeah.
Really strong losers bracket run. GFM, unfortunately, this is your departure for the tournament. As always, you've been joining us for 7 MTs now. Have you enjoyed your time with this one?
Yeah, sure. Like, I always try to at least go 2 and 2, so I did better than that. I'm really happy with that result. And the games are fun, everyone here in commentary, everyone racing along. It's just a fun time playing with you all.
And it's always a good time to have you with us. Well, we are getting prepared for the next game coming up here in just a moment. GFM Marshmaster, thank you so much for joining us in here. And we are going to go ahead and run a quick ad break to break those pre-rolls. And then we will be back with more Mystery Funhouse action.
Thanks and see ya.
GG.
GG.
As soon as I can find the dashboard link so I can go click on the 3-minute ad button.